Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of his ship and watched the stars. This would be the last time any human would see them from outside their home system. The aliens had made their choice. Humanity was no longer welcome among the stars. Jake had been a space captain for 20 years. He had visited dozens of worlds and met many alien races. Some were friendly, others were cold and distant, but none had ever told humans they could not travel the galaxy. Until today. The message had come 3 days ago. All human ships had to return to Earth immediately. All human colonies had to be abandoned. The Galactic Council had voted. Humans were too dangerous to be allowed in space. Admiral Lisa Hayes called Jake on the communication system. Her face appeared on the screen. She looked tired and angry. "Jake, how many people do you have on board?" she asked. 230, Jake replied. "Mostly scientists and their families from the research station on Kepler Prime." "Good. You are the last ship to leave that sector. The aliens are already moving in to take over our facilities." Jake clenched his fists. The research station on Kepler Prime had been humanity's pride. For 10 years, human scientists had worked there to develop new technologies. They had made amazing discoveries about faster-than-light travel and energy production. Now it would all belong to the aliens. "What about the other colonies?" Jake asked. Lisa's expression grew darker. "We have evacuated 47 colonies in the past month. 12 million humans are being forced to return to Earth. The aliens are giving us 6 months to complete the withdrawal. And if we refuse, they will destroy every human ship and colony they find." Jake looked out at the stars again. Each point of light represented a sun with planets around it. Humans had lived on many of those worlds. They had built cities and farms. They had raised children under alien skies. Now they had to leave it all behind. The door to the bridge opened. Dr. Ben Carter walked in. He was a scientist who studied alien life forms. His research had helped humans understand many species in the galaxy. "Captain," Ben said, "I have been listening to alien communications. The Galactic Council is meeting right now to discuss what to do with us." "What are they saying?" Jake asked. Ben sat down at a computer terminal. "The Kalari Empire claims humans are too aggressive. They say we expand too fast and take too many resources. The Nexus Collective agrees. They think humans will eventually challenge their power." "That is ridiculous," Lisa said from the screen. "Humans make up less than 1% of the galactic population. How can we be a threat?" "It is not about numbers," Ben explained. "It is about potential. In 50 years, humans have gone from a single planet to 49 colonies. Most alien races take hundreds of years to expand that much. They are afraid of what we might become." Jake understood. Humans were different from other species. They learned quickly. They adapted to new environments. They were willing to take risks that other aliens found frightening. "There is more," Ben continued. "Some aliens are supporting us. The Zelani Republic and several smaller species have spoken against the ban. But they are outnumbered." A new voice came over the communication system. It belonged to President Kate Sullivan on Earth. "This is President Sullivan to all human vessels. Please report to your nearest Sol system entry point for debriefing. We are not going to fight this decision. The cost would be too high." Jake felt anger rising in his chest. "We are just going to give up, after everything we have built?" "We have no choice," the president continued. "The aliens have threatened to destroy Earth if we resist. We cannot risk the lives of 8 billion people." Lisa nodded sadly. "Jake, set course for Earth. That is an order." Jake turned to his navigation. "Officer." "You heard her. Take us home." The ship began to turn away from the distant stars. Jake watched as the alien patrol ships followed them. The aliens wanted to make sure no human tried to stay behind. As they traveled toward Earth, Jake thought about his daughter. She was 15 years old and had never seen her home planet. She had been born on a colony world and grew up among the stars. Now she would have to live on a crowded world under a single sun. 3 days later, they reached the edge of the Sol system. What Jake saw there made his heart sink. Hundreds of human ships were gathered in space near Earth. Colony ships, military vessels, research ships, and cargo freighters. An entire civilization was coming home. But that was not the worst part. Around the solar system, the aliens were building something. Massive structures floated in space between the planets. Energy beams connected them in a complex pattern. Doctor? Carter studied the structures with his instruments. It is some kind of barrier, he said. They are creating a field around our entire solar system. What kind of field? Jake asked. I think it will prevent our ships from using faster-than-light travel. We will be trapped here. Jake stared at the growing barrier. The aliens were not just sending humans home. They were building a prison made of energy and space, that would keep humanity locked away from the stars forever. President Sullivan's voice came over the communication system again. Citizens of humanity, we face our darkest hour, but we are survivors. We have overcome challenges before. We will find a way through this as well. Jake hoped she was right. But as he watched the alien barrier grow stronger, he wondered if humans would ever see the stars again. The galaxy had rejected them. Now they would have to prove they deserved another chance. The ship docked with Earth's orbital station. Jake's long journey home was over, but he had a feeling that humanity's real journey was just beginning. Commander Alex Turner floated in the zero gravity of the secret research station. It was hidden deep in the asteroid belt where alien sensors could not find it. For 3 years, Alex had been working on the most important project in human history. They called it the Breakthrough Division. The barrier around the solar system was complete. No human ship could travel faster than light beyond its boundaries. Earth was overcrowded with refugees from the abandoned colonies. Food was running short. Many people had given up hope, but Alex had not given up. Neither had the 200 scientists working with him in the hidden station. Dr. Maria Santos was their best hope. She studied the alien technology they had captured before the exile. Her laboratory was filled with strange devices that hummed and glowed with unknown energy. Alex, come look at this, Maria called from her workstation. Alex pushed off from a wall and floated over to her. On the screen in front of her was a complex diagram of an alien faster-than-light drive. I think I understand how it works, Maria said excitedly. The aliens do not use computers to control their ships. They use living brains. What do you mean? Alex asked. Maria pointed to a section of the diagram. See this part? It is not a machine. It is biological tissue. The aliens grow these organs and connect them to their ships. The organs think for the ship and make the jump to light speed. Alex stared at the diagram. Are you saying their ships are alive? Not exactly, but they have living parts. And I think we can make our own version using human brains. The idea was both exciting and frightening. If Maria was right, humans could build their own faster-than-light drives, but it would require people to connect their minds directly to the ship. Have you told anyone else about this? Alex asked. Only you. I wanted to test it first. Test it? How? Maria smiled. I have been working with volunteer pilots. They wear special helmets that connect their brains to a small test drive. So far, the results are promising. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. Maria, this could be dangerous. What if something goes wrong? Everything we do is dangerous now. If we stay trapped in this system, humanity will slowly die. We have to take risks. Alex knew she was right. Earth's population had grown to 12 billion people. The planet could not support so many for much longer. They needed new worlds to live on. In another part of the station, engineer Ryan Blake was working on a different problem. He was building new factories that could make anything humans needed. Since the exile, they could not trade with aliens for technology or materials. They had to make everything themselves. Ryan's factories were amazing. They were huge structures that floated in space near Jupiter. Robot workers built ships, weapons, computers, and life support systems. Everything was designed to work without alien technology. We are becoming self-sufficient, Ryan told Alex during their weekly meeting. In 5 years, we will not need anything from the aliens. We can build our own civilization. That is good, Alex replied. But we still need to break through the barrier. Maria's biodrive project might do that, but even if it works, we will need ships to put the drives in. My factories can build those ships. Alex nodded. The plan was coming together. Humans were learning to survive on their own. Soon they might be able to escape their prison. Captain Nicole Adams was testing the limits of the alien barrier. She flew her small ship to the very edge of the solar system. Her mission was to find weaknesses in the energy field that trapped them. The barrier is not perfect, Nicole reported to Alex. It has gaps near the outer planets. The field is weaker. There. Can we get through? Alex asked. Not yet, but I think we can with the right equipment. The barrier seems to detect our faster-than-light drives and blocks them. If we had a drive the aliens did not recognize, we might be able to slip through. This was exactly what they needed to hear. Maria's biodrives might be the key to escape. 2 years later, Maria was ready for the first real test. She had built a faster-than-light drive that used human brain tissue to control it. The volunteer pilot was Captain Danny Ross, a former colony ship commander. Danny sat in the pilot seat with the biodrive helmet on his head. Cables connected the helmet to the ship's new drive system. His brain would control the jump to light speed. How do you feel? Maria asked. Strange, Danny replied. I can sense the ship's systems. It is like the ship is part of my body. Alex watched from the control room. This test would determine humanity's future. If the biodrive worked, they could start building ships to escape the solar system. If it failed, they might be trapped forever. Beginning jump sequence, Danny announced. The ship's engines powered up. Energy flowed through the biodrive. Danny's face showed intense concentration as his mind merged with the ship's systems. Suddenly, the ship vanished. Alex held his breath. Long-range sensors searched for any sign of the test ship. Minutes passed, then hours. Where is he? Maria asked, worry in her voice. I do not know, Alex replied. The ship is not showing up on any of our sensors. They waited for 3 days. The test ship never returned. Captain Danny Ross and his crew were lost somewhere in space. The drive worked, Maria said quietly. The ship jumped to light speed. It broke through the barrier. But where did it go? Alex asked. I think it went too far. Danny might not have been able to control where the ship went. The biodrive is more powerful than I expected. Alex felt both hope and sadness. They had proven that humans could escape their prison, but the cost was high. Good people had died to make this breakthrough. We need to improve the control systems, Maria said. Make them safer. How long will that take? 2 more years? Maybe 3. Alex looked out at the stars through the station's window. Somewhere out there, beyond the alien barrier, was freedom. Humans would reach it eventually, they would not give up. But first they had to perfect their new technology. They had to build ships and train pilots. Most importantly, they had to stay hidden from the aliens who thought they had defeated humanity. The aliens were wrong. Humans were not defeated. They were getting stronger. And when they finally broke free from their prison, they would be ready for anything the galaxy could throw at them. Alex floated back to his office and began planning the next phase of their secret project. The dark years were not over yet, but he could see light at the end of the tunnel. Humanity would return to the stars. It was only a matter of time. Captain Sam Rodriguez checked his ship's stealth systems one more time. The Terra Nova was about to do something no human had done in 70 years. They were going to leave the solar system without the aliens knowing. Sam's ship was different from the old human vessels. It used the new biodrive technology that Dr. Maria Santos had perfected. The ship's hull was covered in special materials that made it invisible to alien sensors. Most importantly, it could jump to light speed using patterns the aliens had never seen before. All systems ready, Captain, said his pilot, Lieutenant Amy Johnson. She wore the biodrive helmet that connected her mind to the ship's faster-than-light systems. Take us out, Amy, Sam ordered. The Terra Nova moved toward the edge of the solar system. As they approached the alien barrier, Sam felt his heart beating faster. If this did not work, they would be destroyed or captured. Barrier approaching, Amy announced. I can feel the energy field trying to block our drive. Can you get through? Yes. The biodrive is adapting to the barrier. It thinks we are something else. The ship jumped to light speed. Space around them changed from black to a tunnel of swirling colors. They were free. Jump complete, Amy said with a smile. We are outside the solar system. Sam looked at the stars on his screen. For the first time in decades, a human was seeing them from deep space. The feeling was incredible. Their destination was a small planet in an uncharted system. Intelligence. Reports suggested that a group of rebel aliens lived there. These aliens had grown tired of the Galactic Council's strict rules. When they arrived, Sam was surprised by what they found. The planet had no major cities or space stations. Instead, there were small settlements hidden in forests and mountains. The aliens here were trying to stay invisible too. The first alien Sam met was named Kel. He belonged to a species called the Vortani. His people had been conquered by the Galactic Council 50 years ago. Since then, they had been forced to work as laborers for other alien races. Humans, Kel said in surprise when Sam introduced himself. But humans are banned from the galaxy. How are you here? We found a way, Sam replied. We are looking for allies, species who want to be free from the Council's control. Kel's eyes lit up. Many of us feel that way. The Council tells us where to live, what jobs to do, even how many children we can have. We want our freedom back. Over the next few weeks, Sam met with leaders from 6 different alien species. All of them had similar stories. The Galactic Council had taken away their independence and forced them to obey strict laws. Intelligence Officer Claire Thompson worked with Sam to gather information about the Council's activities. What she learned was shocking. The ban on humanity was not about safety, Claire told Sam. It was about fear. The Council leaders were afraid that humans would inspire other species to rebel. What do you mean? Humans represent everything the Council hates. You explore new worlds without asking permission. You develop technology quickly. You treat other species as equals instead of following the Council's hierarchy. Sam began to understand. Humanity had been banned not because they were dangerous, but because they were an example of what free species could accomplish. There is more, Claire continued. Several Council members have been stealing resources from conquered worlds. They use the military to keep other species under control while they get rich. This information was valuable. If humans could expose the Council's corruption, they might turn the entire galaxy against them. While Sam and Claire gathered intelligence, other human ships were busy establishing secret colonies. The humans had learned to be very careful. Each colony was built in a system the aliens had never explored. The first secret colony was called New Geneva. It was built on a planet with thick clouds that hid it from space-based sensors. The colonists used underground cities and camouflaged buildings to stay hidden. General Paul Martinez was in charge of training the colony's defenders. These new human soldiers were different from their ancestors. They had grown up in space stations with low gravity. Their reflexes were faster and their bodies were stronger. These void-born humans are amazing, Paul told the colony leaders. They can move in zero gravity like fish in water. Their hand-eye coordination is better than any human who grew up on Earth. The soldiers were also equipped with advanced technology. Their armor could adapt to different environments. Their weapons could disrupt alien electronics and life support systems. Dr. Amy Foster led the research division at New Geneva. Her team studied captured alien technology and found ways to improve it. Their biggest discovery was about the quantum fields the aliens used for communication. We can turn their own technology against them, Amy explained to Paul. The quantum network that connects all alien worlds can be hacked. We can disrupt their communications and even take control of their ships. This was exactly what the humans needed. If they could control alien technology, they would have a huge advantage in any future conflict. As the years passed, more secret colonies were built. Each one specialized in different technologies. New Boston focused on building ships. New Chicago developed weapons. New Los Angeles worked on stealth technology. The aliens had no idea what was happening. Their sensors could not detect the human colonies. Their spy networks had no information about human activities. As far as they knew, humanity was still trapped in the solar system, but the humans were everywhere. They had spread across 50 star systems in just 30 years. They had built a shadow empire that was growing stronger every day. Captain Sam Rodriguez returned to the hidden colonies regularly with new intelligence. Each trip brought more information about alien weaknesses and more potential allies. The rebellion is growing, Sam reported to the colonial leaders. 12 species are now working with us secretly. They are sharing information and hiding our activities from the council. How long before we are ready to reveal ourselves? Asked the governor of New Geneva. Dr. Foster says we need 5 more years to perfect our quantum weapons. General Martinez wants 2 more years to finish training our forces, but we are getting close. Sam looked out at the stars from the colony's observation deck. Somewhere, out there, billions of humans still lived in the solar system prison. They did not know that their species had already escaped. They did not know that humanity was preparing to return to the galaxy stronger than ever. The aliens thought they had won by banning humanity from the stars. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Humans did not give up easily. They adapted, they grew stronger, and they always found a way to survive. Soon, the galaxy would see humanity again. But this time, humans would not be asking for permission to explore the stars. They would be taking their rightful place among them. Captain Tony Wright knew something was wrong the moment the alien ships appeared on his sensors. His mining operation in the Kepler sector had been secret for 5 years. Now 3 Galactic Council patrol ships were heading straight for him. "Captain, we need to evacuate now," his first officer warned. "Not yet," Tony replied. "Send the emergency signal to all human colonies. Let them know we have been discovered." Tony's ship, the New Frontier, was a mining vessel designed to extract rare minerals from asteroids. But it was also equipped with the latest human technology. If the aliens wanted a fight, they would get one. The lead alien ship sent a communication message. "Human vessel, you are in violation of the Galactic Accord. Surrender immediately or be destroyed." Tony smiled grimly. "This is Captain Wright of the human ship New Frontier. We do not recognize your authority here." The alien commander seemed shocked. "Impossible. Humans are banned from this sector. How did you get here?" "We never left," Tony lied. He wanted to buy time for his crew to finish sending their intelligence reports back to the colonies. The alien ships opened fire. Tony's ship shook as energy beams hit its shields. But the shields held. Human technology had improved greatly during their years of exile. "Return fire," Tony ordered. The New Frontier's weapons were unlike anything the aliens had seen before. Quantum torpedoes ripped through the alien ship's defenses. One patrol ship exploded immediately. The other 2 retreated quickly. But Tony knew the damage was done. The aliens now knew that humans had escaped their prison. Soon, the entire Galactic Council would be hunting for human colonies. Admiral Helen Brooks received Tony's emergency signal at the main command center on New Geneva. She had been preparing for this day for 30 years. Now it was time to put their plans into action. "Send alerts to all colonies," Helen ordered. "Activate defense protocols. The secret is out." Within hours, the Galactic Council was in emergency session. The alien leaders could not believe what they were hearing. Humans had not only escaped the solar system, they had been building colonies for decades. The Kalari Empire's representative was furious. "This is impossible. Our barrier around their home system is still active. How did they get out?" The Nexus, Collective's leader, was more concerned with the implications. If humans have been expanding for 30 years, they could be anywhere. How many colonies do they have? No one knew the answer. The aliens had been so confident in their prison that they had stopped watching for human activity. Now they realized their mistake. The Council's response was swift and brutal. War fleets were assembled from 12 different alien species. They began searching every unexplored system for signs of human activity. Commander Steve Parker was ready for them. He commanded the defense forces at New Geneva, humanity's largest secret colony. When the alien fleet arrived, he had a surprise waiting. The aliens expected to find a small, helpless human settlement. Instead, they found a fortress world protected by advanced technology and defended by soldiers who had trained their entire lives for this moment. Alien fleet approaching, Steve's tactical officer reported. 60 ships. Multiple species. Let them get close, Steve ordered. I want them to see what they are up against. The alien commander sent the usual surrender demand. Steve's response was to activate New Geneva's planetary shields. A dome of pure energy surrounded the entire world, protecting it from orbital bombardment. How are they doing that? The alien admiral asked his science officer. Unknown, sir. The energy readings are unlike anything in our database. The aliens opened fire on the shields. Their most powerful weapons had no effect. The shields simply absorbed the energy and grew stronger. Then Steve revealed his second surprise. Hidden weapon platforms throughout the system began firing quantum torpedoes at the alien fleet. Ships that had seemed invisible suddenly appeared and joined the attack. The battle lasted only 20 minutes. When it was over, 40 alien ships had been destroyed or disabled. The remaining 20 retreated in panic. Dr. Linda Ross watched the battle from the research center. She was the lead scientist working on humanity's greatest secret weapon, instant communication across any distance. The quantum link is working perfectly, Linda reported to Admiral Brooks. All human colonies are connected. We can coordinate our forces no matter how far apart they are. This was humanity's biggest advantage. While alien fleets took days or weeks to communicate across the galaxy, humans could share information instantly. Every human commander knew what was happening everywhere else in real time. The news of the victory at New Geneva spread quickly through both human and alien networks. The galaxy was shocked to learn that humans had not only survived their exile, but had become more powerful than ever. President Derek Hayes, who had taken over from Kate Sullivan, made a decision that would change everything. It was time to announce humanity's return to the galaxy. Derek's message was broadcast to every world in the galaxy using captured alien communication networks. His words were simple but powerful. People of the galaxy, this is President Hayes, of the human race. 70 years ago, you banned us from the stars because you feared what we might become. Today, we return to claim our rightful place among you. We do not come as conquerors, we come as liberators. For too long, the Galactic Council has oppressed free species and stolen their resources. We offer you a choice. Join us in building a new democratic galaxy, or continue to live under their tyranny. To the Council members who voted to exile us, your barriers could not hold us. Your fleets cannot stop us. Your empire built on fear and oppression ends today. The message ended with coordinates for 50 human colonies that were now revealing themselves across the galaxy. The aliens finally understood the scope of what humanity had accomplished, but Derek saved the best surprise for last. As his message played across the galaxy, the barriers around Earth began to shut down. Human scientists had learned to control the alien technology better than its creators. Ships began pouring out of the solar system. These were not the same humans who had been exiled 70 years ago. These were a new generation who had grown up in space. They were faster, stronger, and smarter than their ancestors. The liberation of Earth was broadcast live to the entire galaxy. Billions of humans who had been trapped in the solar system finally saw the stars again. Many of them had children who had never seen deep space. Captain Jake Morrison, now an old man, stood on the bridge of one of the ships leaving Earth. He remembered the day humanity had been exiled. Now he was watching their triumphant return. We kept our promise, Jake said to his granddaughter, who served as his first officer. We found a way back to the stars. The young woman smiled. Grandfather, we did more than come back. We came back, stronger. The alien response was chaotic. Some species wanted to fight, others wanted to negotiate. A few began openly supporting the humans, but the humans were ready for anything. They had spent 70 years preparing for this moment. They had technology the aliens could not match. They had allies throughout the galaxy. Most importantly, they had the determination of a species that had survived the impossible. The galaxy would never be the same again. Humanity was back, and they were here to stay. Admiral Frank King stood on the bridge of humanity's flagship, the Liberation. Around him, the largest human fleet ever assembled prepared for the final battle. After 70 years of exile, they were going home to Earth. But first, they had to break through the aliens who still defended the old barrier. The journey to Earth had taken 6 months. Human forces had fought their way through 12 star systems, defeating alien fleets that tried to stop them. With each victory, more alien species surrendered or joined the human cause. "Admiral, we are approaching the solar system," reported Captain Ashley Bell, commander of the advanced fleet. "The aliens have built a massive defense network around Earth." Frank studied the tactical display. The aliens had turned Earth's solar system into a fortress. Hundreds of ships from different species formed defensive lines between the planets. Space stations armed with powerful weapons guarded every approach route. "How many ships are we facing?" Frank asked. "Our scouts count over 800 vessels," Ashley replied. "They have brought fleets from across the galaxy to stop us here." Frank nodded. The aliens knew this was their last chance. If humanity reached Earth, the war would be over. The Galactic Council would fall, and a new age would begin. "Open a channel to all human ships," Frank ordered. His message went out to 300 human vessels. Each ship was crewed by people who had been born in the secret colonies. They had never seen Earth, but they knew it was their ancestral home. "Today we complete the journey our ancestors began," Frank announced. 70 years ago, humanity was banished from these stars. Today we return as liberators. Fight well, and fight for freedom. The human fleet moved forward. As they approached the outer planets, the alien defense network activated. Energy beams and missiles filled space as the two sides clashed. But the aliens quickly discovered that human technology had advanced far beyond their expectations. Human ships moved faster and hit harder than anything they had seen before. Commander Chris Johnson led the main attack force straight toward Earth. His ship, the Defiance, was equipped with the latest quantum weapons and adaptive shields. "Enemy fleet moving to intercept," his tactical officer reported. "Let them come," Chris replied. "All ships, activate biodrives and prepare for rapid maneuvers." The human ships suddenly accelerated to incredible speeds. They weaved between alien formations like dancers, striking fast and disappearing before the aliens could respond. The key to human success was their quantum communication network. Every human ship knew exactly where every other ship was located. They could coordinate attacks with perfect timing, while the alien fleet struggled to communicate across the battle zone. Admiral Zektar of the Kalari Empire watched in horror as his carefully planned defense collapsed. Human ships were appearing everywhere at once, attacking from impossible angles. "How are they moving so fast?" he demanded of his science officer. "Their biodrives seem to be adapting in real time, sir. They are using patterns we have never seen before." Zektar had been one of the leaders who voted to exile humanity 70 years ago. He had believed humans were dangerous then. Now he realized he had been right, but for the wrong reasons. As the battle continued, something unexpected happened. Ships from the Zelani Republic, which had always opposed the human ban, began switching sides. They turned their weapons on their former allies and joined the human attack. "The alliance is breaking apart," Chris observed as he watched Zelani ships fighting alongside humans. "The Council's control is ending." Other species soon followed. The Vortani, who had been enslaved for 50 years, saw their chance for freedom. Rebel groups from a dozen worlds joined the fight against their oppressors. The battle became a revolution. Species that had been forced to serve the Galactic Council for generations finally had a chance to break free. They chose to stand with humanity. Dr. Linda Ross, now elderly but still sharp, watched the battle from the Liberation's command center. She had spent her life developing the quantum communication system that was making victory possible. "The network is holding perfectly," she reported to Admiral King. "All human forces are coordinated. We are fighting as one mind across thousands of ships." This was humanity's greatest achievement. They had learned to work together on a scale no other species had ever managed. Individual humans could think and act as part of a larger whole without losing their independence. As Earth came into view, the final phase of the battle began. The aliens had built a massive weapon platform in orbit around humanity's homeworld. It was designed to destroy any human ship that came too close. But the humans had a surprise for their enemies. Captain Tony Wright, who had first revealed the human colonies years ago, approached the weapon platform in a small, seemingly defenseless ship. "Tony, what are you doing?" Admiral King asked over the communication channel. "Something I should have done years ago," Tony replied. His ship moved close to the alien weapon platform. Then he activated a device that Dr. Amy Foster had spent decades perfecting. It sent a quantum pulse that took control of the platform's biological components. The weapon platform turned its guns on the alien fleet instead of the humans. In minutes, dozens of alien ships were destroyed by their own superweapon. "How did you do that?" the alien commander demanded. Tony's voice came back over the open channel. "We learned your technology better than you know it yourselves. This is what happens when you try to cage humanity." The remaining alien forces began to surrender. The battle for Earth was over, but the war for the galaxy was just beginning. President Derek Hayes landed on Earth's surface for the first time in his life. He had been born on New Geneva and had spent his entire career fighting for human freedom. Now he stood in the ruins of the old Galactic Council headquarters. The building had been damaged during the final battle, but its symbolic importance remained. This was where the decision to exile humanity had been made. Now it would be where a new galactic government was born. "Citizens of the galaxy," Derek announced in a broadcast that reached every inhabited world. "The age of oppression is over. The Galactic Council that ruled through fear and force no longer exists. In its place, we offer something new. A democratic federation where every species has a voice, where freedom is more important than order, where exploration and growth are encouraged, not feared." The response was immediate. Dozens of species that had been oppressed by the Council asked to join the new federation. They were tired of being told what to do by distant rulers who did not understand their needs. But Derek was careful to offer mercy to humanity's former enemies. "To those who opposed us, we offer the same choice you once gave us: peaceful coexistence or isolation. We will not repeat your mistakes." Some alien species chose isolation. The Kalari Empire retreated to their homeworlds and closed their borders. They could not accept a galaxy where humans were equals. But most species chose to join the new federation. They had seen what humanity could accomplish when given freedom. They wanted the same opportunities for themselves. Admiral Frank King was appointed as the first commander of the Federation's defense forces. His job was to protect the new democracy from those who might try to restore the old order. "We will not be conquerors," Frank told his officers. "We will be guardians. Our job is to make sure all species can live free." The transformation of the galaxy took years. Old trade routes were open to everyone. New colonies were established by species that had been forbidden to expand. Scientific research accelerated as different species shared their knowledge freely. Captain Ashley Bell commanded one of the first mixed-species crews in the Federation fleet. Her ship had humans, Zelani, Vortani, and members of 6 other species working together. "This is what the galaxy should have been all along," Ashley told her crew. "Not one species ruling over others, but all of us working together." Children from different species played together in the streets of New Geneva, which had become the Federation's capital. Human technology allowed species with different biologies to live in the same environments. The final scene of humanity's return took place in a small park on Earth. An old man sat on a bench watching children play. The man was Jake Morrison, now 95 years old and one of the last people alive who remembered the exile. A young girl, half human and half Zelani, ran up to him. "Grandfather Jake, tell us again about the old days." Jake smiled and picked up the child. She was his great-granddaughter, born in the new galaxy where species boundaries no longer mattered. "Long ago," Jake began, "there were people who thought the universe was too small for everyone to share. They tried to build walls and barriers to keep different groups apart, but they were wrong, weren't they? The little girl asked. Yes, they were wrong. The universe is big enough for everyone, and when we work together, we can build amazing things. Jake looked up at the stars, where human ships now traveled freely alongside vessels from dozens of other species. The galaxy that had once rejected humanity now embraced them as partners and friends. The exile was over. Humanity had returned to the stars, and they had brought freedom with them. The future was bright, and it belonged to everyone who was brave enough to reach for it.